Hello, team. Welcome. Want to talk today about a very important word and an even more important question. And it's a very simple three-letter word. It's why. WHY. It's a very short word, a very short question, but it's a very important question to ask. Why? Why? I know we teach children, or we used to teach children, I don't know, don't ask so many questions, don't ask why, the terrible twos, right? Why this, why that? It's actually quite the opposite. We should encourage children to ask why. When you're talking to your prospect, when you're talking to that caller, those questions are framed really, there's a lot of questions, there's a lot of technical components and that you need to know so you can structure your solution and your quote in the policy in the correct manner, right? What suits them and fits them. However, at the core of your sale, what you really want to find out, and this is the only way you're going to be able to win, is to find out why do they want this? Why? What's in it for them? What's their why? What's their reason, right? A lot of people will tell you, well, I just left my job and I need coverage, or I'm getting older, I know that I need it now, I want to see the doctor, I have some back pain, blah, blah, right? Those are all, I guess, symptoms, but at the core, you gotta, and why do you want that? And why is that important to you? And that's how you're gonna dig, and you're gonna be able to find, and you're gonna be able to match, and you're going to be able to position your solution and the product and the benefits according to what's in it for them and why do they want it. And that why is different for everybody else. But it's so important to be able to dig deep. And in personal development, professional development, there's this thing called the 7 layers of why. And so, just on a personal level, right? Why did I join and why did I get into the insurance business 20 years ago? Well, because I knew the opportunity that it was going to provide for myself, for my family, and also this idea that I could provide for my future generation. And so I'll show you guys, but I have some United Healthcare policy holders since 2007. Some of those premiums are $1,500 or more, and so I got paid a long time ago. And after the 13th month, that policy I keep getting paid, and I keep getting paid, right? And I have a ton, in 2014 with Shane McIntyre, you guys will know him. He's part of the group, and he's part of this process, and he's part of this journey. We built something very similar, and we amassed 16,000 policies. Some of those policies we're still getting paid for today, right? So my why for getting into the insurance business was because I knew it could provide a very lucrative lifestyle for me to accomplish the things I wanted to accomplish. And even more important now, 20 years later, I see how these policies and this book of business, right? It's such a beautiful business, but it can really, if I work it properly, it can leave a lasting legacy for my children and probably for my children's children if I do it right. And so that's my why, right? But if you ask me, why do I want to leave a legacy? Why do I want to continue building this model? Why is this important for me? You keep digging, and then that's my response. That's my reason for waking up. That's my reason for when things get tough, right? Nothing comes easy to anybody, right? Without work or without challenges, right? Or as they say, anything that comes easy, it's really probably not worth it. And so, the why kind of keeps you there motivated. Now, transferring that over to the phone call, you got to look at these people as people. You can't see this phone call as just some deal I'm trying to do so I can make a buck. You really got to get into the psyche and ask the caller, what's your situation? What are you looking for? Why is that important to you? And why? But why do you want that? And why? Even equally an important question, why not? Why not take care of this today, right? And once you can identify, really get to the why of why this person. Some people may simply be doing it, like me, because they just want to put it on the shelf and they want to forget about it and have that peace of mind. If at the end of the day, that's what it is and you're able to uncover that, that's what you're going to sell them on. If it's because they have this pending surgery in their head or whatever, and there's no pre-existing for 12 months, they get the 58% discount for the first 12 months. On the 13th month, it could be covered. So they're just because they have a pre-existing condition and they want to get it covered, or they want some coverage for it, doesn't mean that it's a no-go, right? So that may be the why for that person. The why may be because my wife is hounding me, and I know she sleeps good, mama's happy, I'm happy, right? Like whatever, that'll be fine, right? Like whatever their why is, but you got to be able to uncover that, right? Then you can kind of wrap around the services and really get into the specifics of the product. But the product doesn't mean anything if you're not really fulfilling that why. And as Michael and we were talking about it yesterday's training call, it doesn't matter the price. Price is a question in the absence of value. Does this cover and does this take care of all the things that I want in my head or in my heart or my emotions to be able to satisfy, to say, okay, this is worth it, right? Yeah, it's going to take care of this and this and that for me, right? So the why, that's what I wanted to get to, and analyze your why. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Why does this make sense, right? Why should you stick with something, right? Anyways, comment below on the thread. I hope this has been a little bit of value for you. We'll continue the conversation, dissecting the sales script. But the beginning part of the sales script it's like a psychological evaluation with the client, right? I'm looking for health insurance. Okay, excellent. What made you do that? Why are you doing that? Well, because I'm going to be without coverage. Okay, and why is that? Okay, well, because I'm self-employed now. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. Why are you self-employed? Okay, and what's important to you? Well, doctor visits, this and that. Tell me about your situation. Okay, and why, right? Why is very important. All right, comment, let me know, and we'll continue talking about this throughout the sales training this week.